Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back. It has been a while. Um, Holidays got busy. Life got a little busier. And finally have time on a Monday to actually film a video. It feels like my Mondays have been getting cut into. And then by the end of the week, I'm not in the mood to talk about the week before when we're already halfway through. So this is a long overdue rankings video. But that means we just need to jump right into it. I promised you guys I would get you one this week, so let's get straight into it. Let's just go straight to the standings because we've had some shakeups. We've had some big trades go down. Right now, at number 10, the Lumberjacks. Don't really have too much to say about them right now. I'll just run through the standings. We got Freaking Sheets also at 1 and 12. At number 9, the Blade Breakers are at 3. At 4 and 9, the Beecher Creatures have fallen off to 5 and 8. They're sitting at number 7 on the outside, looking into the playoffs. If the season ended today, the Flagrant Fowlers are in the playoffs. Sergio is in the playoffs. Trent is in the playoffs. The 10 and 3 Clarence Falls, You Just Gotta Believe, is also in the playoffs. A very surprising team this year. Watts, sitting at 12 and 1, is in the playoffs, and the Arlington Taxpayers sit at the top and the highest scoring team in the league. Yes. So, yeah, we've had a couple big trades go down. Kind of back up here a couple weeks. Victor Wembanyama is traded from the Beecher Creatures to Trent. He sends 2 first-round picks for 2026, and one of those is Daniel's pick, which is looking right now as the number 2 pick. And then he also includes probably a mid-round pick, and then I still have my own pick. And then he also sends Denny Avija along with that. And several of you guys I've had the conversation in the chat, and I started to get to the point where I had injury concerns with Victor. It just seems like he can't stay healthy, and he's always going to be on a minutes restriction. And ultimately, I don't like that. I don't like guys that can't go out there and give me 30 minutes. And then they're missing, quite a bit of time. I mean, he's missed quite a bit of time even this year. He missed almost half of last year. So I felt like, that was a fair price to get. Trent clearly turned it around, and so Trent then trades Wemby, and he gets Michael Porter Jr., Brandon Miller, and Alex Sarr. I would say this is probably what I'm hoping I get out of these first round picks. Hopefully a little better than Michael Porter and Brandon Miller. But Alex Sarr, I think, is a really nice piece. I've watched him quite a bit watching Wizards games. So that's a big trade. And I think, Murph's team is well built for the future ahead. I think the combination of those 3 guys might have been a little better. Maybe he could have moved Michael Porter. But I think Brandon Miller and Alex Sarr are going to combine for more points than Victor will. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that trade shakes out as the years go on and who ends up with the better end of the deal. I'm hoping I do. I hope I draft well and doesn't make me look like a complete idiot for trading probably the best piece on my team. But nonetheless, it happened, and we've moved forward. But let's talk a little bit about last week now. So we are already into week 13. I think the last time I did one of these videos, it was like week 8. So we've had a pretty good dry spell of videos for you guys. But last week, the Beecher Creatures fell to Team Sergio 396 to 388. It's a very close matchup. I made a dumb decision, didn't realize Avija ended up in the lineup Sunday. I checked early in the day, and it said he was out, and then all of a sudden he was back in, and I missed it and probably cost myself a win, which isn't a huge deal. I mean, if I make the playoffs, I make the playoffs, but I'm kind of hoping I get another top 4 pick. Freaking the Sheets fell to Watts 410 to 311. Clarence ends up beating the Lumberjacks 425 to 318. The Tax Evaders take down Trent 452 to 407, and the Blade Breakers win 351 to 302. We saw some huge performances last week. Doncic had a big game for Marsh against Sacramento. Anthony Edwards had a big win against the Spurs. That was an unreal, one of the best highlight tapes of a game I've seen in a while. Trey Murphy has emerged into an absolute stud this year for Michael. And then Scotty Barnes had a 31-piece for Sergio. And Victor Wembanyama with a 60 last week. So it's pretty – nothing crazy. No 80, 90, 100-point games like we've seen in the past. Most efficient manager was Trent, 407 out of a possible 411 points. Murph, least efficient manager, 437 his team could have put up. Instead, he puts up a 318. Highest points in a loss. Trent, the Blade Breakers are the lowest points in a win. And, anybody else that had – trying to see who else had some really efficient weeks. Sergio had a really nice week. He was 97.8% efficiency. But this Lumberjack team, I don't know if you guys can see this here. Right there, it's clear he is a top 4 team in the league. His team is putting up almost as many points. It looks like even more than Watts and Clarence. His team might only be second to Marsh last week. Yet, here we are. And the Lumberjacks are sitting at 1-12. Yep. So, I don't know. It's whatever. But there will be a lottery put in place after this year. All right. Let's go through the rankings. Daniel is at number 10. This team has really been struggling. Cade hasn't been as good as of recent. Jaylen Brown, solid player. Aaron Nesmith didn't end up even playing last night, and he's not been very good. I mean, this team just – the trade deadline's coming up, Daniel. You got to probably move a couple pieces here. Get some draft picks, get some capital, or just get some young players that you like. I mean, right now is probably the best time to move Joel Embiid. I mean, somebody's looking for a depth piece. I think Anthony Simons, he's had some decent games. You might be able to fetch a nice price for him. Kobe White. I mean, Cal Filipowski has been solid at times too. As long as they're playing back-to-backs, he's been really good. I mean, clearly you don't want to trade Cade Cunningham unless you're getting an absolute haul, but Jaylen Brown's a guy that you're probably looking to move. Daniel is in, he's in the mode now. He needs to move some pieces. Will he though? I don't know. He hasn't made too many trades in the league since he's been in here, but it may be time for a little shakeup on the roster to see if he can get some new, fresh blood on his team. At number 9, we have Wyatt. This team's sitting at 4-9. It's just this team is, I mean, it's got some nice pieces on it. It seems like it's a lot like the Beecher Creatures, just inconsistency, and then health is clearly an issue. He, still without Tatum, without Porzingis, Lillard, Van Fleet. I mean, those guys have been out all year, but now Markkanen's out, and Darius Garland's out. I mean, he's ultimately the most injured team in the league besides maybe he's more injured than the Beecher Creatures. This team might just want to punt this year and see where they come back next year, see if they can get some guys healthy, and see what can happen for them. At number 8, I have the Beecher Creatures. Beecher Creatures have put up some decent weeks, but ultimately we're hurt. As I said earlier, getting some nice development out of Jeremiah Fears. Keyshawn George has looked great. Buzelis is starting to get some more run. Peyton Watson's been a breakout. But ultimately, the injuries have stacked up. We've lost Giddey. Keyshawn George finally came back last week and had a huge game. Aldama had been out. Christian Braun's out. Matherin is out. Koulibaly is out. Avija was out. Kessler was out. Keegan Murray was out. And then we have Eric Spoelstra, the leader of Hamas, not playing Khalil Ware the minutes he deserves. And it's been very disappointing. And honestly just pisses me off every time I look at a box score of the Heat and Khalil Ware plays 20 minutes and doesn't get involved in the offense. It's like the dude is so damn good. Let him play. But like I said, we have the leader of Hamas coaching the Heat right now. So the Creatures are coming in at number 8. At number 7, I guess it's only fitting to move him up, because it's clear that this team needs to be better, or should be better. But we got the Louisville Lumberjacks. Ball, Edwards have both been really good. Cooper Flagg has broke out since we probably last talked. Ben Caro has been unbelievable. Jaden McDaniels, solid piece. Victor Wembanyama right there leading it all. And then Klingon has been a stud. And then you pair that with, I seriously don't understand how this team, how he's continuing to tank. I would have such a hard time, because this team should be a top 3 team, 3-4 team. But he continues to tank only to, hopefully get one more piece before being, apparently elite next year. The Lumberjacks are close, and I guess we'll wait to see next year what they end up doing. But they are at number 7. At number 6, I did that 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, 6. We have the Flagrant Fowlers. This team has struggled. This team is not good. This team has really fallen off from the previous years. Cam Thomas, bad. Been very bad. It's like the Nets have figured out that they don't just want a guy that just chucks shots and doesn't do anything else. He did have 10 assists last game. I will say that. He had 3 points and 10 assists. Trey Murphy he has been really good for Michael. Holmgren's been solid. Bridges looks like just been inconsistent. Jabari Smith been decent. Giannis hasn't been Giannis lately. That's hurting him. Kevin Porter kind of returned back to earth. Just this team doesn't excite me at all. I think this team's headed in the wrong direction, personally. And it's clearly starting to show its rear its head in the standings, sitting at 6th place. This is a team that 2 years ago was, a top 3 team in the league. Now they're really struggling. But right now, I don't see the Creatures catching up. I don't see Sergio catching up. Well, Sergio's ahead. So, sorry. Sergio is ahead. I don't see any of those other teams between Daniel, me, Wyatt, and Murph catching up at this point. But he's not far from being in that bottom, the bottom tier of the league right now. At number 5, we have Sergio. I got to go with Sergio. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Let me look at this. Let me look. Give me 1 second. Where did that go on our... Oh, there it is. You know what? Trent, you're at number 5. Sergio's coming off a nice win. But Trent, I'm putting you at number 5. I don't like this team. I don't like it at all. It's just a bunch of stream players is all it is. I mean, yeah, he's got Alex Sarr. He's got Zubac. Siakam, solid. But then it's just a bunch of stream players besides Jalen Brunson. Steph Curry, yeah. DeMar, he's been DeMar. Jimmy Buckets, yeah. It's nothing that gets your bones excited. This team's just meh. It's a lot of outcasts. This team is a bunch of outcasts. A lot of number 2 options on their teams, 3 options, and then guys that are stepping up and playing minutes because of injuries. I got to give him this. He's managed his team well, but we're looking at a team here that, I mean, in 3 weeks could have 4 guys that aren't playing at all. I don't know. It's tough to say right now, but they're sitting at 7-6. They've been well managed, but Trent is coming in at number 5. At number 4, the team I thought about putting at number 5, but I'm giving Sergio the bump here. Sergio is sitting at 7-6. He's got the 7th most points in the league, but this team's been a little better lately. Scotty Barnes has been unbelievable lately. He's finally got John Morant back. Sengun's been solid. Sadiq Bey has had some big games. Brandon Ingram has been really nice at times. But the depth has not been there necessarily. This is where this team's weaknesses is depth. They may want to look to add some players. But I will say this. It's been a nice rookie season for Danny Wolf. He hasn't got the minutes so far, but he is a nice piece whenever they fully go rebuild mode again for the Nets. At number 3, I got to go with Clarence. Clarence has been really good. I mean, Maxey, Sharp, Thompson, nice pickup by Diabate. Kawhi, if he's healthy, is really good. LeBron has been better since being back. Karl Anthony Towns he's done a good job as well. He's managed his team well. He's picked up some nice pieces, and he's also had the emergence of VJ Edgecombe. Yeah, I mean, and he's still without Suggs, and he's without Irving, which I think Irving is out for. I mean, he's probably out for a while still, but Suggs will be back. So this team's just going to get another bump. I think this team is a title contender. It's a team at the beginning of the year I thought was just going to hover right around the 500 mark, but Clarence's team has really showed some grit. I guess would be the best way to put it. It's been a gritty team. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this team can do. I mean, they're clearly a playoff team sitting at 10-3. So we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out. But I've turned the corner on Clarence's team. I think it's really solid. It's got a nice mixture of older, high caliber players, and then also some youth that's coming up through the system that looks pretty solid. So kudos to Clarence. I got to give him some kudos there. At number 2, we have Watts. Might be the first ranking that he's fallen off of number 1. but he's dealt with some injuries. Tyler Hero has not been healthy. Just lost Jalen Williams. And Jovic has been out. So, or Jokic, sorry. You know, that takes a toll. And, you know, Watts' team is still 12-1. It's still a top 2 team in the league, clearly. But I think Marsh's team right now, on paper, without Jokic, without those guys I just mentioned, is a better team. And so Watts, while he has been number 1 all year, I think it's a 2-horse race, possibly a third if Clarence catches a good week going into the playoffs. And it's going to be fun to see how this shakes out. I think we have another Watts-Marsh matchup later on in the week or weeks. So I'm looking forward to those. So Watts coming in at number 2. At number 1, we have the Arlington Taxpayers. They make the jump for me. Keontae George has been one of the best guards in the NBA. Really seeing some nice stuff out of some of these guys. You know, looking through these, sorry. Concanipple, the big areola, has been really good shooting the 3 ball. You know, just this team's deep. This team is good. A lot of guys right in their prime. Jalen Johnson's also been unbelievable for Atlanta. He's been fun to watch. And then he gets Grayson Allen back. Or was he out? Oh, I'm thinking Connor. No, it was Allen. I was thinking Connor Gillespie was out. And then Devin Booker, Miles Turner hasn't been that great, but, you know, this team's good. I think this is a weird thing about this team is I think the ceiling is a little bit lower with this team than Watts' team. But I think this team might be – they're just healthier. I mean, right now they're just healthier. You know, he might argue, I'm without Hartenstein, without Davis, without Vassell. I mean, everybody's got 2 to 3 injuries on their roster. It's the NBA. But, you know, he's got Caleb Love. And I didn't realize this. He has Caleb Love and Ryan Kalkbrenner on his bench or on his taxi squad. Two rookies that have been really solid. So the Taxpayers are coming in at number 1. Like I said, I'm really starting to think this is a 3-horse race. I don't think Trent's team has enough firepower to be number 1. And I don't think Sergio or Michael are going to be. I mean, they're probably going to make the playoffs. Let's be real. But, you know, we're approaching the trade deadline here in 2 weeks in this league. I think week 16. Let me look. Week 16 is a trade deadline in this league. So this is where you determine if you're a buyer or seller. So that's what we're looking at. And then let's go into this week's matchups. We got the Creatures going up against Clarence. It's probably going to be a Clarence victory, I'm guessing. And then we have Daniel going up against the Taxpayers. I'm taking the Taxpayers in this one. The Lumberjacks going up against Sergio. Going Sergio here. Even though I honestly think he should lose. And then I have Watts taking on the Blade Breakers. I think this is another win for Watts. And then the matchup of the week, we got Trent versus the Flagrant Fowlers. The Fowlers looking to turn around their season a little bit and get a nice victory here over Trent. I am going to actually go with Trent in this matchup. But I think it will be a tight one and one to watch as the week goes on. That is all for me. I appreciate you guys watching. It looks like I have one viewer. I'm not sure which one of you it is in the league, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll try to be back in 2 weeks. So we'll see ya.